Can ingesting too much sugar during pregnancy harm your baby? Can ingesting too much sugar during pregnancy cause miscarriage? Does too much sugar during pregnancy affect you, and if so, how? Sugar during pregnancy. How much is too much? Welcome to BabyBumpVlog. My name is Margaret Burkholz, and today's topic is something that is very personal to me. It's a serious topic. It's something I've dealt with before, and I dealt with having gestational diabetes during my first pregnancy, which has caused me to be much more cautious with my sugar intake this time around. But before we go any further, if you're not subscribed, ding, 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 please do so. Also, you can follow BabyBumpVlog on Instagram, and I will be putting the link down below as well. Why should you follow us? Well, first and foremost, I have been enjoying this experience so much, making videos for my unborn baby, just to feel through video what I was feeling, to see what I was thinking, not only through the book I'm writing, Baby, but also to see just my energy during this time, what it was like, what I was like. So that has been amazing. This platform has also afforded me the opportunity to connect with a lot of moms and to share the experience of not only expecting, but expecting during a global pandemic. This is something out of this world. It's wow, it really has affected all of us so deeply. Financially, emotionally, it has been devastating. South Africa is reeling at the moment from many deaths. And our healthcare system is really taking a strain at the moment. Financially, people are taking strain. This pandemic has hit us hard, and my prayers go out to each and every person dealing with mental illness during this time, because it really is intense. But another reason why I'd love for you to subscribe is because my intention is to monetize this channel. I am an actress by trade, and we have been hit super hard by this pandemic, and I am loving the fact that I can do these vlogs from home. So your support is invaluable. Please do subscribe. I would love to monetize this channel and do what I love doing, and that's talking. So let's get right into this topic. And I'd like to remind you that I'm not a medical professional, and that when you are dealing with something health related, it is super personal, and the advice I'm giving you is just broad advice, but go seek medical advice, because that is the most important. Your medical practitioner will know exactly what is going on in your body and how your system works. So firstly, can ingest too much sugar during pregnancy harm your baby? In short, yes, it can. A study published in the American Journal of Preventative Medicine found an association between mothers drinking certain sweetened beverages, including diet sodas, during pregnancy, and a reduced cognitive skill in children. It could adversely affect the baby's mental health and also lead to the development of behavioral disorders. It could develop childhood allergic asthma within your child. Birth weight of your baby will be adversely affected. By eating a diet high in sugar during pregnancy, you're programming your child's genes to be at a high risk for metabolic syndrome and also diabetes. It alters our children's blood vessel structure and places them at a high risk for heart disease. Pregnancy consumption of sugar has also been linked to weight gain in children and obese children. You have a much higher risk of delivery, which is preterm. And this carries so much of its own effects and possible complications. I can affirm that with Victor, I was induced at 35 weeks. And wow, I'll still go through that journey with you and share more of what that personal experience was like. It is just something on a next level. So, can ingesting too much sugar during pregnancy cause miscarriage? High blood sugar levels early in pregnancy, that is before 13 weeks, can definitely increase your risk of miscarriage. Does eating a lot of sugar during pregnancy affect you? If so, how? Well, it definitely has an effect. Not only on baby, definitely on you, mama. Consuming too much sugar can increase your glucose and insulin levels, which can contribute to your development of gestational diabetes. And it could also increase your risk of developing type 2 diabetes after your pregnancy. As I said, I will be delving more into my own journey with having gestational diabetes in 2013. And it was really just something else. It contributes to the development of a fatty liver, higher pregnancy weight gain, and it increases a risk for preeclampsia. So we can definitely see all of these risks are huge, and it's definitely something that you'd want to avoid. Obviously, genetic predisposition plays a part when it comes to gestational diabetes. Like for instance, with me, my maternal aunt had diabetes and died because of diabetes-related complications at the age of 36. So, no, I'm 36. She passed away at the age of 38. Nonetheless, it is something I'm genetically predisposed to. I just didn't think that it would happen to me, that I would develop gestational diabetes. Sugar during pregnancy. So how much is too much? It's recommended that free sugars, that is sugars added to foods and drinks, and sugars found naturally in honey, syrup, unsweetened fruit and vegetable juices, should not make up more than 5% of the calories you ingest daily. Pregnant women shouldn't have more than 30 grams of free sugars a day. Well, that's a mouthful. You know, it is important to take a conscientious and conscious approach to your health and the health of your unborn baby. Something I definitely do, as sugar is absolutely an addiction for me. It's an addiction for me, is I get myself gum. So the same way that people stop smoking by just chewing gum, I do that. I try to drink water. I try to add some lemon to the water. They say when you change your mindset or your focus, you can change your mood. So I try to change my focus when it comes to my cravings for sugar, but it's definitely a physiological thing. The less sugar you eat, eventually the less you start craving sugar. So just get through the initial stage because it's hectic. I do know it is hectic. Chewing gum definitely helps. So let's rewind to the 21st of November, 2013. I am in state care meaning that I don't have a medical aid, and I would have gone for my first scan, in which my parents would have been with me, as well as my child's father that time would have been with me, because he was in a different country for the first few months of my pregnancy. So that would have been the first scan with everybody together. It was such a special day, beautiful day. And it was also my mom's 50th birthday. And we go for the scan. And anybody that's been to a state hospital, especially in South Africa, will know it is immensely busy. So getting in, you're like, hours later, we made it. We made it for the scan. And I'm so thankful. I'm like, yes, let's do this. My mom can see on her 50th birthday, her grandbaby, and Pablo can see his child. I was so excited. And they started asking me questions, which they didn't do initially. Even though I've said on previous videos that that is what should happen, that didn't happen with me. And they started asking me, do you have diabetes in your family? And I say, yes, my mother's sister died from diabetes-related complications and at a very young age, etc. And they're like, we need to send you for some tests. And that night I stayed over and I had some tests done, and it came out that I had gestational diabetes. And I was so scared. Just thinking about that time. It was such a scary time. And I felt so alone and so sad. Things with my relationship wasn't on par at that point. And I felt guilty. I felt like, was it the stress of things that had transpired that caused me to get a shock and then I developed diabetes? Or was it me eating too much sugar? At that point, I also hadn't stopped smoking yet. So I was still smoking about 4 cigarettes a day. And I felt so guilty. And I was like, is it the cigarettes? But I feel so stressed because I'm living a horrible situation. And it was just very scary. A nurse came in and she hadn't read my file. And she wanted to inject me with something. And I realized, no, wait. And I asked her to call her superior. And it later came out that what she wanted to inject me with was not for me. It was for a different patient. And that could have caused a miscarriage. By that point, I was already 7.5 months pregnant. And it was so intense. So they induced me 3 weeks later. So that is just a part of the journey that I walked with having gestational diabetes. But I remember feeling very scared, very guilty, and Victor was in the neonatal ICU for 2 days and then placed in high care for an additional 9 days. On the 11th day, he was released, and it was just so frustrating. I remember having to go to the hospital, and you can't stay there all the while. So you have to pump out breast milk in an area that they designate for mothers, and then you give the milk to the nurses. And you can only be with your baby for a certain amount of time each day. And it was intense. Also, those first few days, I wasn't able to touch him. He had, what do you call it? Sorry, I'm a bit emotional. He had jaundice. So he was in like a little, sorry, words escape me. So I wasn't allowed to touch him, and that was a hectic experience. Little babies in the neonatal section don't always make it. So that was intense. This is why this time around I stopped smoking cigarettes really early in my pregnancy. And yes, I do still get in some secondhand smoke, but I try my best to take a more conscientious approach this time, knowing that I am predisposed to develop gestational diabetes. And moms, I'd like to hear from you. Please comment down below. Not first time moms, obviously, but mommies that are doing this for the second, third, fourth, fifth time. Have you dealt with gestational diabetes? Do you know anybody that has? First time moms, do you know anyone in your family that is suffering from or living with diabetes? Comment down below. And thank you for watching today. Just an update. I will only be receiving the money that I won on the game show that shall not be named when it is aired in February. So unfortunately, I will not be able to buy the camera or the PC that I wanted to buy so that I could edit and make these videos cooler and not just do one take, that I could put in little music thingies and make it more interesting. But this is what we have right now. And as I said on the first episode, one of my favorite quotes, if you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. So this is what I'm doing. We're moving forward. Ladies, just something to remember this week is that no matter what, you are loved. And no matter what, you have worth. Love, growth, baby.